So far, we have understood about rigid joint, revolute joint and slider joint while we were creating some basic assemblies, and then we understood about cylindrical and pin slot joints while we were creating some intermediate assembly. In the same regard, we are going to understand the planar joint and the ball joint. This ball joint will be covered in the next section where we are going to deal with some advanced assemblies and some advanced concept of assembly in Fusion 360. So let's begin with this one. As you can see, we are having a curved slot in which a pin is attached which can move in the slot only, and it cannot go outwards of this. So we are going to use the concept of contact set again here. Now in this particular lecture, we are not only going to understand about the planar joint, we are also going to understand about one new concept, that is how to create a joint origin. So let's begin. Let's create a new design and a new component. I always start with a new component from the assemble toolbar. I can also do it by creating a body and then creating that body as a component, but this is more convenient, this is more prominent, and this is more efficient. That's why I use this, and most of the designers use this method only. They create components, a fresh component from the assemble toolbar. So let's create one. Let's name it slot. Now we are going to create this curved slot first. So for this, create a sketch in any of the vertical plane. Then create a circle of any dimension, a bigger one, and then followed by a smaller one. Then invoke the line command, trace the origin up to the intersection point that we are getting here with respect to the outer circle, and then just close the region. Let's trim the bottom area, and this one also. Invoke the offset command by clicking O in the keyboard and just offset this profile that we have generated outside and click on OK. Now finish the sketch, select both of these regions, press pull it outwards, let it be of any dimension, and then as you can see the sketch is gone. So what we will do, we will show the sketch from here, from the browser. Now select this outer region, press pull, this time here, and operation would be obviously join. Now just hide the sketch and our slot is ready. Now we need to create a pin over here. So for this, again invoke or basically activate the head assembly, create a new component, let's name it pin. Select this particular surface, create a circle. Let's first create a line from this midpoint of the curvature and this midpoint, and let's convert this into construction one, and from the center of this one let's create a circle. So as you can see, it is snapping to the point with the outer dia of the curved slot, but this is not desirable. We need to make it bit shorter. The reason behind the same is we need to have a play in between them, otherwise it will be stuck. So it is like 37.362 millimeter, so we can make it like 36 so that we can have play in the upper portion as well as in the bottom portion. Click enter and finish the sketch. Select this profile, press pull. I think this much would be sufficient. And then from this face, create another circle, a bigger one, finish the sketch. Select both of this profile, right click, press pull, and we are done. Now in this assembly, both the components are ready. Now we need to ground any one of them. So obviously this slot is going to be grounded. Just capture the position. This is grounded. That means we cannot move this one, but we can move this one. And now apply joint. Which one? Planar. Let's go to position, snap to this particular origin, joint origin, and then you need to find a point to snap it on the slot. But as you can see, there is no prominent point where we can snap. Let's say we are snapping it here, and let's say we are trying to adjust it, but it is not going to be adjusted properly. Now what we need here is we need a joint origin where we can create a joint between the components. So for this, go to joint origin. So basically the description in Fusion itself is telling you that a joint origin positions a joint origin on a component which defines the geometry used to relate a joint's component. That means when we create a joint origin, it will create a new origin where joints can be applied. So when we invoke the joint origin, let's capture the position. We have mode as simple, between two faces, and between two edge intersection. So when we try with the simple one, we cannot snap it to any prominent position. So we have to try something else. The second mode is between two faces. So when we click here, we can select two faces only, but we want our joint origin somewhere over here. So for this we need to make some adjustments. Just cancel for now and create a tangent plane on this particular curvature. Similarly, create a tangent plane on this particular curvature. Click on OK, and now we can invoke the joint origin. Just select the mode as between two faces, select this face and select this face, and we can provide joint origin in between these two faces. But as you can see, it is not oriented properly. It should be lying parallel to this particular surface. So for this we can click on reorient, and then for the Z axis we can select this particular surface and it will be oriented properly. Click on OK. Just hide the constructions, and now we can provide the planar joint properly. Just go to joint. For motion, it's already planar. We have selected it earlier. Now for the position to snap would be this one and the new joint origin that we have created. Now as you can see, this is how a planar joint works. Let's click on animate. So what a planar joint does is that it moves the component along with the plane in which the joint origin is. So it is moving it around the plane in which the joint origin was made. Joint origin was made in this particular plane. So it is moving in that plane only. Let's revert the position. But what is desirable here? That it should move under this slot only. So for this we will again use context sets. Just enable the context sets, right click here and create new context set. Select both the components and click on OK. Now when you move the pin, it will not go outside of this slot.